right. Hello.
What? There we go.
Alright, we good?
Yep.
Alright. Hello and welcome to the Nightmare Fuel Podcast, Episode 3. I am Reese, and as always, I am being joined by Hagbard Celine.
Hello.
Hagbard. So, sorry, we were having some technical issues, but we are here, and we are attempting this, and let us know what you think. I wanted to actually put out a call for the show, just kind of a little thing that will help us, but currently I am looking for an intro for the show, and I would be more than happy to make one, but I'd like to see what other people come up with, and if it's cool, we will use it, and we will make sure to credit you, as we do with pretty much anyone who makes us anything.
Yeah.
Is there anything you wanted to say, Hagbard?
Yeah, and let's put the responsibility for this squarely where it belongs, on my shoulders. So let's be clear about that. My rig crashed and it blew everything off of my system. So we're kind of working from scratch here today, because that did not turn out how I intended it to.
It is perfectly fine. We'll have a week to figure it out. Hagbard is Atlas over here, and Atlas shrugged. Atlas shrugged.
Basically, yeah.
Whole world comes tumbling down. But anyway, we can start getting into some videos, because that's kind of what we do here. We might as well call it the Masochist Podcast, I feel like.
Yeah, that's fair.
Let's do this Obama thing. I found this just hilarious. Basically, Obama, apparently, the problems in the Middle East will not be solved during his presidency.
Really? Has he finally come to that?
After almost 8 years, he's finally able to admit that maybe these problems that have been going on for 2,000 years will not be solved in the next 9 months.
Well, that's good of him to finally come to.
You know, I was asked at the press conference to reflect on the 7.5 years where I've been president, where I've been happy and feel that I've accomplished my goals.
I would like to know those too, frankly. Where do you feel like you've accomplished your goals? Because I haven't seen a whole lot. You half-assed a healthcare program. You did absolutely nothing positive for the overall economy of the United States. So, what did you accomplish?
A lot of promises to get into office. But now that I'm coming to the end of this, I realize I am a little too deep. A little too deep in it. It's pretty good.
I think I've been frustrated. And obviously the situation with the Israeli-Palestinian conflict has been an area where, despite enormous efforts on my part, and a lot of people's parts, we haven't made the kind of progress that I wanted to see.
Well, what exactly would you consider progress in that case?
This needs to end completely. Oh, he has a solution. Don't worry. I'd like to know what he considers his enormous contributions exactly. And the other people, other vague people involved. Like, who are you talking about? John Kerry? Like, who the fuck are you talking about, dude?
They helped, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, really. They helped a lot.
I continue to believe that the only way to resolve this issue is to have a Israeli, predominantly Jewish state that is secure and safe, side by side with a sovereign and contiguous.
Finish your sentence, man. You're like wearing down like an old clock at this point.
Does he write twice a day? It's because he turned away from the teleprompter.
Yeah, he actually had to start, speaking about the subject he actually had to think about, which is just dangerous for Obama.
Yeah, he kind of goes into like Windows XP buffering mode. Like, I don't know.
And we're gonna. He's got to take a minute and process. He's compressing.
That's why I don't get. There's like some people are like, our president is so articulate.
He's an amazing narrator. Like, no, he's not.
Like, not really. And this is coming from me. It's not like I'm giving public speeches, but at the same time, I think I can say a sentence or two without needing a break.
Yeah.
Between.
To a Palestinian state. And I hope that happens. And even once I'm not...
Say what?
He wants a sovereign, predominantly Jewish state.
Yes.
Right next to a sovereign, primarily Palestinian state, and it doesn't see how exactly is that a solution to the problem?
Well, regardless, what I think
is
is funny is that all he does when he does that is make a case for a lot of the white nationalists. Like, oh, so you're fine with ethnic groups getting their own countries? Okay, let's have a discussion about that. And that's literally the credence that they're using. People will regularly in the alt-right use the meme of, Israel gets a state. Israel can have an ethnically pure state, right? That's fine.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think it should tell you something when you have to say, we need Israel to be predominantly Jewish. Like, because we can't have mixing.
Yeah.
Like, that should tell you that we probably shouldn't have the other people in the neighboring country. Because it's pretty much like having them in your backyard, having them in the next country over, and having them mixed into your country. What exactly is the difference there? Because we say that the countries are sovereign, it's like
it's all wrapped up. It's all wrapped up. Good and neat. We're clean. We're good.
People aren't going to jump between neighboring countries just because we say they're sovereign.
Yeah, as Billy Bong is saying in the chat, exactly. Yes, the borders are uncrossable. They are like walls. There's no way to get across that arbitrary line in the sand that's been drawn by an international community. It'll be fine.
They should add on to the weeping wall, and they can make it the Trump wall of Israel. We're gonna build a wall.
And I will continue to try to promote that peaceful dialogue. But I will be the first one to confess, this is not...
Yes. Yes, Hamas is very interested in a dialogue, as they've proven for the last 10 years.
Let's invite hummus to the next peace rally. Jesus.
Yeah, exactly. They're real good at providing peace talks.
That's not giving yourself too much credit. I've really been orchestrating peaceful dialogue here. It's like you're like arbitrarily involved in this. Like, America just kind of gets dragged in because Israel's like, oh, we have an ally, and then everyone else is like, oh shit, America.
It's America. They got all the bombs.
Not something I was able to get done.
Completely trample over the Jews.
Yeah, well, it's like Saudi Arabia. It's like when they find out the main reason we're working with them is we give them our old technological weapons, and then they get to pretend like they're badasses because they're using 1976 technology. But in that region, I mean, that's monstrously good. I mean, an F-16 in Saudi Arabia is like, holy shit.
Just wait till they get the original Macintosh in Saudi Arabia. They're gonna be like, yes, 1984 won't be like 1984.
And I'm not that hopeful that it's going to happen in the next 9 months.
No?
Oh, you're not
Really? Really, you're not? That's amazing. That's you don't think you're going to solve the entire, essentially, Middle Eastern problem in the 9 months you have left? That's... Wow, coming to grips with that, man.
Oh, you can tell he's so broken up about it. He's like, oh, I tried. There's a problem that could not be easily solved.
I swung and I missed.
There is a quote. I'm paraphrasing. I don't remember the exact context, but it's from John Adams, our second president, one of the chief founders of our architects of our Constitution and all that shit. He basically was saying that in regards to people in the Middle East, because there was a period where we were fighting, Barbary pirates. And he was basically saying, like, look, if we go to war with these people, it's not going to end. Like,
yeah.
we will be at war forever. So I don't, I'm not saying like I'm a pacifist on this, because I understand like going after ISIS, but other than that, like, fuck this. Like, really, get out of there. Why are we dicking around and trying to solve a problem? Like, I understand protecting Israel, but beyond that, the whole region is fucked.
Yeah, it really is.
Like, just fuck it. Like, what are we hoping to accomplish?
Feel good points.
Yeah, just like, look, I did something good, guys. Yeah, we can finish this.
60 years, it's not going to happen next time.
Okay, yep. Alright.
Please clap for me. Oh my god, yeah, let's do Tim's video. Do you know this guy, Hagbar?
I do not. Should I?
He's the Motivator Opinion on YouTube.
Yep, still don't know who he is.
Yeah, he's a social justice guy, you know, that kind of thing. He does hangouts with, like, Kevin Logan.
Pretty trashy closet there.
I don't know why it's open. Is he trying to show us something?
Yeah, I don't know, that's creepy.
Let's look in there for some skeletons. Alright, Tim, what do you have to say?
There is a problem in the world. A problem which is only being talked about by some random people on the internet, but it's a big problem nonetheless. What is this problem? It is the regressive left. Now, what is the regressive left? There's been many definitions. The original one was by Majid Nawaz, who said that it was liberals who are hesitant to criticize certain cultures.
He's gonna defend this, isn't he?
Yep. That would actually, that would include you, Tim. I know you're going to see this, Tim, because you're actually subscribed to us. I've talked to Tim on Twitter, and he seems to be under the impression that terrorism has less to do with Islamic extremism and more to do with the geopolitical conditions that surround that.
That's why most of the terrorists are middle class, right?
Because you see, you know, back when we were fighting Russia and Afghanistan, we radicalized them, Akbar. We armed them. We made them this.
Yes, so 30 years later, 30 years later, it's still our responsibility, and will forever be.
Yeah, at what point can we just be like, all right, this isn't our fault? At what point do terrorists take responsibility for their own actions?
Never. Them terrorists didn't do nothing.
I really want to know, is there an expiration date on this?
Them terrorists was good boys. They was just getting their life back together, going to mosque. You fucked up.
Going to mosque. They was going to mosque.
They was good boys.
For fear of seeming bigoted, and this means that they allow terrible things to happen in places like the Middle East, where gay people are thrown off buildings, women are oppressed and don't have the rights due to them as human beings. They've got Sharia.
Hey, you can put that on YouTube, man? Damn.
It's crazy. I like how he's saying this sarcastically, like it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Like,
like it's not the norm.
Look, that's just Jewish lies, okay? Them Jews. Ask Allison. She's behind it all. She's making the Muzzies look bad.
The law in those places are very conservative, and anybody who is rational or sane would say that is a pretty shitty system, and it's a theocracy, and so you wouldn't want to have a system based on fucking Sharia. At least I wouldn't. I don't know about other people. But
I'd hope so.
Well, at least he's willing to take that strong stance.
Yeah, you know what? I'm coming out with it right now. I am anti-theocracy.
I am not pro-Sharia law. There, I said it.
Enforced misogyny, not my thing, guys. Not my thing. I frown upon that. It's like, oh, well, thanks. Thanks for joining us in 2016, Tim!
Fantastic.
Apparently, or at least I've heard, people on the progressive left, they think this is all fine and dandy. When they see a homosexual thrown off a tall object and killed,
they don't think it's fine and dandy. They make excuses for the true motivations. Like, I don't want to misconstrue this, because Noam Chomsky and Glenn Greenwald aren't pro throwing gays off rooftops. That's not the point.
No,
of this.
for some reason though, no, but for some reason they're pro blaming the United States and the West for the fact that people are throwing gays off of rooftops, which I find extremely bizarre.
Yeah, that's the nature of the disagreement. So let's get that clear.
They think that's their culture. I respect that. That's not a problem for me. Apparently. Okay, so that's part of the problem with the definite.
Nice straw man.
Yeah, you're so fundamentally even lacking the nature of this debate that's going on. It's about motivation. It really is. There, and that side, the Greenwald, Chomsky side says that the motivation primarily, and you, Tim, says the motivation comes from Western intervention and imperialism and shit talk.
Let me guess. Poverty causes crime too, am I right?
And I don't even, like, look, we can have a discussion, like, in the poverty and crime thing. Like, look, I understand that when you have a lot of poverty, crime is going to be a more, alluring lifestyle. I get it. But that still doesn't mean that we let criminals go because they were poor. That doesn't mean you were poor? Well, okay, then we don't need to punish you. You're fine. We're letting you off.
It's such an absurd concept. I mean, it really is. Yeah, okay, are there some people who are socioeconomically motivated? Sure. But those people tend to do money crimes. Murder is not technically a money crime. Never will be.
Yeah.
Rape is certainly not a money crime. So you're going to really have to argue sufficient points there if you're going to try and put that out there. Because saying that these people are doing it for socioeconomics, you're really going to have to explain to me how rape helps them socioeconomically.
They needed some pussy. No, but when it comes to the terrorism thing, it's even worse.
Yeah.
Because it's so black and white, really. We are being handed on a golden platter the exact motivation. Like, this is a dream to anyone investigating a crime of any sort. When the criminal says exactly why they did it, like, here is our exact motivation. This coming from the horse's mouth. And when I was talking to you, Tim, your excuse was that you don't trust jihadis. You don't trust them. So you're not going to believe them when they tell you why they did what they did. Okay, that's amazing.
Yeah, well, and it's not even strictly relevant for the fact that even if they are useful idiots believe what they're saying.
Oh, wait, hold up. Billy says that bitches pay him to rape them. Maybe it is a money crime.
I agree with Rob. No, I misunderstood. Someone had a sexual emergency. I remember that.
Is that the new code for rape?
No, a guy actually said that about raping a kid. He said that he hadn't had sex in several months and he was under the influence of a sexual emergency, so he pretty much had to do it.
Oh, fuck that guy.
Majid originally said leftists are hesitant to criticize something. That's a very different standard from supports or thinks is good.
Okay. Alright, sure it is. Sure. It's a real big difference.
Fucking semantics. There's a spectrum of this. Like, you can make arguments that some people in this thing that we've loosely called the regressive left are aiding and abetting terrorists. And there are some who are just uncomfortable with the idea of blaming another culture.
Yeah, just know that you'll be remembered like the Germans that ignored the smell of the camps. I'm just letting you know. Just know that that's how history is going to remember you people. Because you're literally doing the same thing. You're saying, well, let's not jump to conclusions, let's not do... No, you fucking act. Life is about being decisive. Grow the fuck up.
It's not jumping to conclusions at this point. It's funny, because, like, we could really break it down and look at the spectrum. We could be like, on one end, we have Al Jazeera, who we've been watching some videos from.
Yeah.
And they are full-on, like, terrorist apologists. Like, they won't even say the word terrorist. They're that bad. And then maybe we could look at the other end, and we could be like, okay, Noam Chomsky, he might be a nice old guy, whatever. He's got it a little twisted. He's making excuses because it makes him uncomfortable.
But he's been doing that since the mid-'80s. Noam Chomsky hasn't been readable since, like, 1992.
Fair enough.
Or likes. And the way that I would personally phrase it, if I even believed in the regressive left as an actual concept, would be people not focusing enough on those issues. So if you make a whole bunch of videos
Yeah, so basically what you're saying is what we shouldn't be doing right now is condemning Nazi Germany. Because, I mean, they're just, it's the will of the people at this point. So who are we to talk about it constantly or say that it needs to be criticized?
He would not use that as an excuse for any other problem. It's so odd.
No, and it's clearly a discomfort of your own culture that makes people behave this way. I don't understand how it's been bred so thoroughly into our own culture. We're probably the first culture ever to hate ourselves into non-existence.
It is strange.
It's fucking retarded.
Yeah, for real.
Alright.
About religion and the problem with religion in the world, and you don't really talk at all about Sharia or some of the radical things in the Quran.
Okay. In that statement alone, you have contradicted your own concept. Religion, and then saying, but not this religion. That's exactly what you just said.
Oh my god, it's such a disingenuous point, because I'm definitely not on the front lines as much as some people. I'm not Lalo, I'm not Majid Nawaz, I'm not Sam Harris. I don't make Islam. Islam is not the only thing I discuss. I discuss other things. I just want, and I've made this argument before, even on this show, I just want the chance to talk about Islam without being called a racist.
Yeah.
That's all.
I've explained...
I talk about every religion.
Yeah, I explained myself when I first started making videos on Islam that the only reason I'm going to sit here for the next however long it takes and hammer the shit out of this is because I was told I wasn't allowed to.
Yeah, you even said that, like, look, if an idea is this heavily protected, then that's a sign.
Yeah.
That we should really double down on it. Like, what we need to figure out the motivation for this. Why? Why is this idea like exempt from even like the lightest criticism? That's considered Islamophobia.
Yeah, and then it just, I was not, as soon as I started getting that reaction just from making jokes about things I'd legitimately found in the Quran. And they're like, dude, that's Islamophobic. I'm like, dude, that's in the Quran. Like, no, that's Islam. That's not Islamophobic, idiot. That's Islam.
That's Islam. That's a good comeback. I like it.
Okay, I can see as a matter of focus, you might say, well, that person is a bit regressive. Although I still don't know what the fuck that's supposed to mean. Like, they're regressive. They want to go back to something.
Semantics again.
He just doesn't want to... Fine, we won't call you a bad name. Does that make you feel better? That bad name bothers you. Does moron feel better?
Yeah, like, I don't even really call people regressive.
I don't either, because it gets old and I don't like throwing labels around because I condemn it. I condemn people on the left that do it when they just say, you know, fucking Republican or right wing, and I condemn people on the right who just call people libtards. Either way, you're not being productive. You're not moving this conversation forward.
Yeah, no. A better word would just be pussy.
Yeah,
like
pussy, coward. We have
you
words
can't
for
address
what.
these
Yeah,
things.
we have words for what these people are. Fucking even white guilt-riddled pussy works for me.
That's what Bernie Sanders got called.
I know.
I don't know what they want to go back to, but that's the difficulty when people are trying to invent a new phrase that logically doesn't make sense. You kind of have to add some meaning into it so that it's regressive for a reason, and I've never seen.
Again, it's a play on your own label. As Billy Bong just pointed out, the label that you have chosen is progressive.
Yeah, which is distinctly different from liberal. So
Yes. And we are just playing with that word because in many ways, not in this particular way, not about Islam, but in many ways, including many of the people in the feminist movement, you are trying to move society backwards without even realizing it.
Yeah, that's the sad thing. I want to know the motivation of why so many people on the left, I guess not all, but a significant portion decided, you know what, we're no longer content with being called leftists or liberals. We're going to label ourselves progressives.
And they don't even understand how dangerous the whole thing, not just that, but the relabeling, the rebranding, the imagery that's used. They don't seem to understand you can literally already see this having occurred in other countries, and it's usually when a Marxist movement starts.
For sure.
We've done this, like Virlo says. We've done this in Eastern Europe, which is why they don't even look at it. They're like, yeah, okay, we've seen this. We're not doing that. But for some reason, America looks at it and goes, yeah, that might be a good idea. Let's try some of that over here. Like, no.
I think it should really worry people when you have a movement like a homogenous movement, like, oh, the liberals or the left. And there's a subgroup in that movement that says, you know what, we're going to put up a divider. Like, we are the real liberals. We're the ones who are going to make real change. Like what kind of message are you sending when you do that?
Yeah, well, and it's interesting because it's like the progressive move is like in Germany when they're now or Germany or Sweden or something where they're segregating pools by sex.
Oh no.
That's what we're dealing with now, and that's in the West. That's occurring because of people like Tim, who are saying, "Oh, it's just their culture. Just let the migration happen. It's the West's fault anyway. So now we have to regress 150 years to deal with these people's problems."
Now we have women in Germany being blamed for their own sexual assaults. Like, you need to dress more conservatively. You need to stay an arm's length away. And I really need to ask Tim, because you do travel around in a lot of feminist circles. Like, how can you possibly fucking defend this? How can you sit here and mock people who are trying to take on Sharia? You should be on their side.
For real.
Anybody
clarify that
in a decent way.
Direct support for these policies.
I don't know if it's progressive, but it is bad. It's bad to kill gay people, it's bad to not let women have the fucking vote.
Strong stance, Tim.
Wow. That took so many balls, dude.
Very strong stance, Tim.
Bad. I think that needlessly killing people because of their sexual orientation, that might be a little bad. It might not be the right choice.
Yeah, but pointing it out's racist, so I won't do it.
Oh yeah, the people who did it were not of my ethnicity. So,
because I tuck my dick and dance in the mirror.
That's a scary idea. Tim, and you'll have a hit video.
Yeah. Hey, you want to get YouTube famous, dude? Just recreate that famous scene. You'll be fine.
From Silence of the Lambs?
Yes. Yes, I did just imply that.
It rubs the lotion on its skin.
Yeah, basically.
A lot of that's to blame on the Quran. What? I don't see anything amazing about saying that. Does that make me a badass? These people basically, if you say that every single fucking day, you're a fucking hero. You are true liberal. Any other people who say...
No, if you're willing to stand up and point out the actual individual belief systems that these people are bringing over in large scale, then you're doing some form of a service.
No, apparently we're having some audio issues.
Yeah, well, I think we knew there was going to be a slight echo.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. They were complaining last time, and it really wasn't that bad. I'm convinced they're pussies.
I announced at the top of the show that it's entirely my fault, so I'll say it again in the middle of the show, because, well, yeah.
Yeah.
I think I'm about done here. I don't see how he can continue going for even another 5 minutes. This is a 17-minute long rant.
Yeah, he ends up playing some clips of Richard Dawkins, Bill Maher. He references Lalo, stuff like that. But it's really whatever.
I mean, does it go somewhere from here then? He doesn't just sit here and rant.
I seem to remember something around 13 minutes. We can take a look at that, just see what's going on.
Ranting? Ranting?
Tim,
ranting.
I hate to be this guy, but who's going to sit here and watch a video of you just sitting and talking. Like, that kind of format is so dead.
So the
So
douchists.
douchists.
So true liberal douchists. That's what I call them. So to all
So
the
to all the
atheists,
atheists,
Well, at least we got to the title portion. Thank you.
yeah, it's called.
I think what you're implying here is that simply by them being dicks, which is something that's kind of always been what pushing the edge is been, people that, you know, used to get called dicks by the religious right, you're doing the same thing. You're saying because they're not nice people, they're a problem. That's puritanical bullshit. And
You can be an atheist. You just can't be vocal about it.
And you gotta be super nice all the time. Like, no, fucking 2/3 of the population is shitty. Why should... We're not saints and we're not trying to start a religion. Cut that shit out. Stop trying to be a human recruitment campaign. It's creepy.
Yeah, like, I love this. You're faced with an actual problem. You're faced with Sharia. And what does Tim do? He's mad at the people who are angry at Sharia.
Yeah, don't talk about it and stop hurting people's feelings. Yeah, okay. I'll get right on that.
It's something. It's a point that actually Devin's made in some of his videos. Like, if you say you're anti-something, that means you're negative. That means you're the bad guy.
Yeah, somehow you're immediately the bad
That's totally what
guy.
it is. You want to be done with Tim?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's gonna respond to us. There's no way he's not.
Good enough for government work, Tim.
Let's do. Where's number 2? He's got out of order. Oh, it's the Hillary Clinton one. Shit. Fuck. No. No. Okay. So this is interesting. This was at one of the Democratic debates. It was the town hall, and this guy who's a former prisoner, falsely convicted, and was on death row, is going to ask her about her stance on the death penalty. And, she gives a really great, non-vague at all answer. It's really a decisive and
I
takes a
feel like
stand
you're
for
putting me on.
Ricky Jackson, wrongfully convicted of murder in 1975. He spent 39 years in prison. He is undecided. Ricky, what's your question?
Thank you, Senator.
He is undecided. Well, yeah, I imagine he is.
A little bit.
39 years, I'd be undecided about a whole lot of shit, dog.
You get out, the world's completely changed.
Yeah, like a lot of people sincerely do not understand that, and I've met some guys that like literally we used to, and this is gonna sound like a joke, but it's dead serious. Young guys would carve cell phones out of soap to teach the old guys who had been there for 25 years like how they operated. And just show them, like, yeah, man, this is how you do it. Some of them flip open, some of them are touch screens, and it's like, yeah, and they'll explain things and like draw charts and shit and explain to them how like new TVs are, because they've never seen this shit.
Probably think it's like Star Trek.
Mm-hmm.
Get out.
Yeah,
Don't drop the phone.
I'm with Rob though. You got to realize this dude went down in the 70s, man. That was the style. Look at that shirt. Look at that open collar, purple, fucking yeah. He that was styling in the 70s, man.
He's got moderate bling. He doesn't let it all hang out. He's got enough so he's like the real deal, but he's not flashing it. He's not gaudy.
No, and he's got a bit of money from the state too, so.
Thank you for taking my question. As stated, I did spend 39 years of my life in prison for a crime, a murder I didn't commit, and it was only through the heroic efforts of the Ohio Innocence Project at the University of Cincinnati that I was ultimately exonerated and able to study for you today.
Yeah, I love her like non-committal little head bob she does. I can't understand how anybody looks at her and goes, she's being completely sincere right now.
Could you try to be human, Ms. Clinton? I'm just asking for like an attempt. That's all.
Yeah, an attempt at looking like a human being would be good. As it were, you look like an abbreviated chicken. You constantly just bobbing your head up and down. It's really irritating.
Hey.
ladies and gentlemen, realize those eyes don't care. Stop applauding. This gentleman is not moved in this moment. He's here to ask a candidate a question, all right?
Is that applause gonna get me back my 39 years?
For real. He's not hearing that shit. All right, just let's be clear. That's not happiness in those eyes. That's an irritated man. That's a very angry person. And I can't blame him. 39 years, I'd be pretty fucking heated. All right.
The prison system in America is so fucked.
Yeah, it's a bit of a joke. It's a holdover. We haven't changed it in like 60 years. It's still operating the same manner it did in the 50s.
What's really a holdover? The fact that we're even fucking discussing the death penalty in 2016 in the first world. Most other countries have done away with this. Most other countries have had this conversation. They still hang people in America in some states.
Yeah, well, you know, it has to happen.
It's absurd.
Gotta have
They
it.
hang people in my state.
Well, yeah, it's Wyoming. What do you expect? Sometimes, look, in a state with intermittent power outages in the winter, you gotta be able to kill people in the wintertime. I mean, you can't be relying on the state's power system to pull that switch, man. You can't do that.
Oh yeah, it might go wrong, and we might have to, I don't know, reschedule. That would be horrible.
It's against the law.
Gallows.
Ironically, it's against the law. They determined that in 1960s or 70s that you can't attempt to kill someone more than once. It's considered cruel and unusual to walk them down to the last moment of their life and then send them back to a cell and then do it all over again tomorrow. That's considered cruel and unusual punishment. You actually just get released, or held on life sentence.
Well, when they took that they took a death penalty case to the Supreme Court last summer, which I was following. I actually made quite a few videos about the death penalty because it really irks me. Just on a personal note, yeah, it's my jihad, clearly. But no, it really. If you want to talk about a breach of the Eighth Amendment, don't we have a right to life in this country? Isn't taking the life of someone cruel and unusual?
Well, that's been argued up and down. It's going to depend on a very large cultural shift in America before the death penalty is done away with.
The only reason it hasn't been changed is because we have so many conservative fucks on the Supreme Court who are like staunch about this, who get a hard-on from killing criminals. Fuck them.
Yeah, well, and the instances, the problem is it's pretty much never going to go away because of the way that we deal with crime. And the fact of the matter is that there are people out there that will commit multiple murders. And the issue is do you want to house them forever, or do you just want to be away with them? So it really, I mean, I hate to be so cut and dry, but it actually just comes down to economics.
Economics don't support it. Yeah, that's whatever. It becomes a question of pragmatism.
Now, I agree, and I agree, and most states will not execute for someone who it's even remotely questionable that they committed the crime first and foremost, or even if it is assured, it has to have exonerating or extenuating circumstances. You have to have done some shit. If you kill a dude and then cut up his face into a smiley face and then rape his corpse, I think I can kill you. I think we don't need you around. I don't think you're recoverable, dude. That's just my personal outlook, though.
Yeah, I mean, it's whatever.
Yeah, but that's just my personal outlook. See? He's not happy with the applause. Let's be clear. Look at that.
Her applause is so limp-wristed.
Look, he looked away from her when she started clapping.
Yeah, he's just looking down, like, considering his life, like...
Dude, seriously, this man's not happy with this applause, people. Stop.
Let him ask his question.
For real.
Senator, I spent some of those years on death row.
Yeah, maybe he values time, huh?
And
39 years of it.
Yeah.
Excuse me, I'm sorry.
It's okay, brother.
I came perilously close to my own execution. And in light of that, what I've just shared with you, and in light of the fact that there are undocumented cases of innocent people who have been executed in our country, I would like to know, how can you still take your stance on the death penalty in light of what we do, you know.
Bobblehead, 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 bobblehead. Diddle-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo.
Anyone accused of a crime must have done it. Otherwise, why would they be accused?
Yeah, exactly. That's the issue. That's why, like, my stance is, like I said, it has to be extreme. And the problem is he got sentenced in, like, 1970-something.
It's just so unthinkable.
Yeah.
39 years for something you didn't do.
I know. But again, I mean, these are... the problem is we're just getting to the point where fewer and fewer and fewer... I mean, I could show you a chart, but it's not worth digging through for this. But it used to be a big thing. There's no denying that. All throughout history, until the serious analysis of evidence exists. Things like, DNA evidence, fucking serious fingerprinting, not the... they used to allow for, like, 6-point fingerprinting, where if 6 points were aligned on a fingerprint, it matched. And then it turns out that if it's not at least 12 or 13, you could get, like, within 100,000 people would all have that same swirl pattern. So like I said, it has to do with how shit we were at just solving crime. We probably shouldn't have been executing people in the 60s and 70s, because there was like a 60-40 split chance he didn't do anything.
My God. And, like, yeah, a lot of those guys are just still hanging out there. No problem.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. I agree that there's a serious issue there, but in modern times, when you're accused, the level of evidence you have to go through before you end up at an execution trial is pretty fucking serious. And you had to, like I said, if you mutilate a corpse, I think we need to have a discussion about keeping you in the prison system for the sake of the prison population.
Sure.
You're a psychopath.
I agree with that.
You're a psychopath.
Don't house the psychos with the guy who got caught with a joint. Like,
Yeah.
That's not productive for anyone.
No, you're not helping anybody in that scenario. You're giving the psychopath food and you're feeding him with someone, so you know.
Right now.
This is such a profoundly difficult question, and what I...
She's not going to answer at all, is she?
No.
That's all. That I could stop here and we will have gotten essentially most... I have to hear the rest of it and I'm going to torture the audience, but I feel like I've already gotten the gist of this.
Yeah, if anyone ever starts something out like this, look, this is a deeply, profoundly difficult issue.
Listen, it's not as simple as you'd like to make it. I mean, really, we have to get into the nuance of this situation before... Okay, we're never going to get an answer, are we? Like, holy shit.
Socioeconomic.
I have said, and what I continue to believe, is that the states have proven themselves incapable of carrying out fair trials that...
Okay, and every hardcore right-wing person just jizzed in their pants. Thank you, Hillary. You literally just made, like, states' rights people fucking lose their shit. I mean, you just said, basically, we would prefer there were an overall federal court. Good luck.
It's really weird because I don't even necessarily disagree with that. Like, fuck states' rights, but don't platform off of this to, like, feed another agenda. Discuss this. We can't blame this on the states. I guess to a certain extent, yeah, you could probably blame Wyoming for still fucking hanging people. That's probably a problem.
Yeah, but you have to understand that that is associated with the will of the people in Wyoming. And they're not going to react well if a governmental body... people around you won't react well if all of a sudden federal courts were just set up.
Probably not.
No, it's just all of a sudden there's no more state level court system, because I mean that's got a whole level of repercussions beyond the criminal that people don't think about. I mean that's a whole level of our republic that she's saying is unnecessary.
Discussion: how long do we cater to morons who don't know how to run anything just because it's the will of the people? Like the people are shit.
Yeah, but the problem is that doesn't matter. That's how you get revolts. That's how you get people fucking being a problem. So it's not relevant whether they're right or wrong. The mob rule will exist if you don't allow for rule of law to associate with the will of the people. It's an unfortunate side effect, but look at any time it's ever been done.
Yeah, I would not advocate for setting up brand new federal courts. I would just advocate for reforming.
I mean, yeah,
state
exactly,
courts.
exactly. And I like how I don't know if you're familiar with your state's court system, but you guys don't even allow specialty lawyers.
Yeah, we don't.
High five, applaud that. That's genius. Fuck specialty lawyers. If you can't do constitutional law, marriage law, and fucking, purchasing law, you shouldn't be called a lawyer. You don't get to just do divorce law. That's disgusting. You take whatever. But yeah, I actually appreciate that about your state. I did not know they still hung people, though, and I'm sure that if someone got vocal about that, there could be a discussion.
It's not like it happens all the time, but it is.
I'm sure it
is
doesn't.
still a thing.
Your crime rates are ridiculously low.
Well, we don't have any people, so
Exactly.
we have more cows than humans, so that might explain it.
Yeah, and more pigs than cows, so shit.
Give any defendant all the rights that defendant should have, all the support that the defendant's lawyer should have. And I said I would breathe a sigh of relief if either the Supreme Court or the states themselves began to eliminate the death penalty. Where I end up...
Okay, yeah, so she's for the elimination of the death penalty, but at least she wasn't crazy enough to say that she would try and forcibly eliminate it.
It's the way she words it is like, I would like to see this happen. I'm not actually going to take any active part in fighting this, but if other people do, then I will be happy for them.
Well,
maybe I'll take the credit.
The problem is that in modern American politics, she knows that people vote with their feelings. And she knows that thus it's not strictly relevant what her policy is as long as she makes people feel good about her potential policy.
That is the whole point of her campaign, is making people feel good. It's a lot of fluff, a lot of just like,
Alright, enough
whatever.
Hillary.
Yeah, enough of Hillary. Let's... number 3. Oh my god. Justin Trudeau.
Oh no.
Loading.
I am a feminist, but I am a shit speaker.
This is quite the stand to take in 2016. In Canada, I am a feminist.
It is current year.
Current year, current time, current channel. Justin Trudeau.
When I was looking over the schedule for today's conference, I was impressed by the core themes that were selected, or more specifically by the words that were used to describe the important work that your organizations are doing and hoping and needing to do more of.
Just on a standpoint of what the fuck, how did you guys elect this person? He's breathy, he's stumbly, he's incapable of delivering anything with any sort of even remote conviction. He sounds like a third grader going through his first speech.
When we watched that other clip of Justin Trudeau, and I think it's a point to raise, but he just doesn't carry himself like the leader of a country. Like, at least Obama, you can, tell, oh, that's the president. Justin Trudeau looks like someone you just, pass on the street.
Yeah, and would ignore.
Yeah, just oh, yeah, there's some schmuck.
Yep, some French Canadian.
Words of empowerment.
He does some French later on.
Yeah, I know, and it's a big thing in Canada to do that. But I don't know if he's actually French-Canadian per se, but he certainly appears to have some French-Canadian blood, so.
You. Ethnic cleanse them.
Holy shit, he was a ski instructor. Oh my god.
He's so prestigious.
You guys elected him.
Accountability, courage, and humility. These are the kinds of words, the kinds of values.
Huh?
What's he talking about?
What you talking about?
He has lots of courage.
And I love, have you noticed the Speaker of China does the same thing he does? That in spite of the fact they're all the way across the world, they stand in front of one of their flags and an American flag.
Yeah.
I find that
It really
very
says
interesting.
something.
And yet, when our president speaks, only when he's in other countries does he speak in front of someone else's flag.
Exactly.
I find this interesting.
Bow down to America, Canada.
I'm just saying, if we wanted it, we'd have it tomorrow.
To build better communities, whether it's the business community and all those you serve, or the political world and the citizens that we serve.
But seriously, this is a public speaker. This man is essentially a politician, is a fucking professional public speaker. And this is what he sounds like.
The people that we serve. Yeah,
I mean,
creepy.
he's just, it's all, his deliveries are all wrong. He talks too slow. Obama talks slow, but he does the Southern oration. He does that church oration, so it's a different style. He has some finesse. He has flair. You don't have any of that. I don't understand.
It's just so odd. He puts the wrong inflection on certain vowels. If you like really listen, it's like the sentences are just formatted strangely. I wonder if he writes his own speeches.
Probably not.
Yeah, probably not.
Tonight, I'd like to talk about those four values.
About
And the ways in which my new government is working hard to make them a reality.
That's another way that people in Europe and in governments that are oriented in this manner speak that I find very disquieting. Is where they say my government.
My government.
Prime ministers speak like that because they arrange their cabinets. I understand why it's done that way, but it's just so creepy and authoritarian. I don't know how you guys live under that.
Look, great changes will be brought by my government.
Mm-hmm.
My government. He loves the power. He revels in it.
Exactly. It's like, you know, it's a bizarre feeling. It's just a bizarre statement.
But first I have to recognize someone who's an inspiration to me. Avant de poursuivre, je veux prendre un moment pour vous parler d'une femme qui, pour moi, représente ses valeurs dans tout ce qu'elle entreprend. Ma femme extraordinaire, Sophie. My extraordinary wife, Sophie.
Yes.
Cuckolded. Wow. That was so awkward and cringy. It's kind of like watching Skeptic and Shu flirt on camera. Except this was worse. It might be a Canadian thing.
Oh yeah. Oh, speaking of that, I hate you just flashed on that. They were reading a comment thing on a video recently. And even I think it's way cringier when someone said that it's wrong for them to do this because some people had very real feelings about Shoe on Head before they started dating. Dude, never type that. Never, ever, ever type something like that ever. What the fuck?
She's my damn it.
I used to masturbate to her videos before you dated her and you broke my heart. Like, oh my god.
How can you do this to me, bro? You and mine.
Sophie is a phenomenal mother, a fearless partner, and a committed advocate for issues facing women and girls.
And yet, when the camera panned over, she looked like she really wished you hadn't done that.
Yeah, like, honey, we talked about this. Like, that night, he was sleeping on the Prime Minister couch.
The Prime Minister sofa.
I like how he was like, she's a fearless partner. You kind of have to be if you're Justin Trudeau's wife, because you do wear the pants in the family.
Yeah, no doubt.
Tomorrow, she's speaking at the Not the Cost event hosted by the National Democratic Institute. Sophie inspires me every day to be better, and I would not be here tonight were it not for her leadership and her example.
He's so cringy. Fuck.
He's just basically bending over backwards like, this is not a speech that a Prime Minister should ever make.
Just in all seriousness, just the way he carries himself. Look at the body language. Look at the compressed shoulders.
The way his hands are folded.
Yeah, look at the compressed shoulders. Oh, it's fucking depressing.
Like, even if you're the leader of Canada, show it. Like, have some authority.
For fuck's sake, I wouldn't hire you mayor.
suffit. And of course, as she always points out to me, behind every successful man is a really astonished woman.
I could actually agree with that. I'm astonished that Justin Trudeau did anything with his life.
Yeah, we're all astonished, Justin. It's not just your wife, man. We're all shocked. No one understands how you got where you are. Probably, least of all, you.
He just woke up one day like, what the fuck? I'm Prime Minister?
I was just playing, eh?
Hey.
Merci, mon amour.
Oh, is he really going to do this bilingually the whole time?
Oh, shut the fuck up, Trudeau.
Oh, with the French.
As you know, empowerment is one of those concepts that's easy to talk about, but challenging to put into practice.
Yeah, you're right, because it's an ethereal term that doesn't technically mean anything.
You know, actually, I can see, watching Justin Trudeau, I see a severe need for empowerment. Just saying. He's actually justifying it here for me a little bit.
Yeah, to be fair, he does look like he needs to be empowered.
Yes.
In spite of being a leader of a country, he looks like he still needs some empowerment.
Oh, Justin, you fucking failure.
Anything that fundamentally shifts the power balance is going to take time, a lot of hard work, and real dedication. I know this firsthand. I'm here this evening because I helped to bring about Canada.
Why would you have a table behind him?
I like how there's people behind him. They're not even paying attention.
No.
They're just kind of, what are they looking at? Is there something? Actually, they could probably be looking at anything. Anything's more fascinating.
I just have no idea why they would put them in the shot. There's a reason why they don't typically show the audiences of things like this, because they're not paying attention.
Yeah, no, not really at all. They're looking at his amazing wife, because they're like, oh, this guy, you know, he gave all the credit to her. She's really the one behind the success, so, you know, we'll pay attention to her, not you.
This first ever gender-balanced cabinet.
Yes.
One of your worst mistakes, you mean?
Yeah.
Possibly?
Yeah, considering at this point it was clearly an enforced move, and that's when it looks silly.
Wasn't that woman who went on Bill Maher, the pink volcano lady?
Yes.
Wasn't she part of his cabinet? Or was she? I know she was Canadian.
No, she's a Canadian Minister of Education.
Wow. Yeah. That's the level of people that are coming on the cabinet? People who are insulted when we say, you know, maybe these Syrian refugees have different values than us. Maybe.
I'm not comfortable saying that.
That's not even like saying fuck them or like we're not going to help them. That's just saying let's acknowledge differences of values between cultures.
Yeah.
All cultures are the same.
All cultures are equal.
Haggard is a cultural Marxist or cultural supremacist.
Yeah, I'm a cultural.
You are.
Fuck that, I'm a cultural chauvinist. I don't give a shit. Your culture is trash. My waifu is far better than your waifu.
America 1, Canada 0.
Well, no, just truthfully speaking, the concept of equal culture would be like then saying, why did we ever fight anyone ever? Why did we fight the Huns if Hunnish culture was fine? Why did we fight Germany? Why did we fight Russia? Why if communism was fine? I mean, every conflict in history was wrong.
Yes.
Madness.
Agreed. They were all done in the name of imperialism.
Madness.
But before we arrive...
I want to make cuts of all these videos and cut out the applause. The applause burns like 3 minutes in each one of these videos. It's fucking hateful.
Yeah. That seems to be a running theme.
It's just, it's so loathsome. Why?
Especially that comment.
Yeah, just such a mundane comment.
If you clap for that, like, I made the first gender-balanced cabinet, there's a problem. Continue.
Oh, I was wrong.
Goal. We had to do an awful lot of work in the years that preceded it. Yes, it may be 2016 now, and it was 2015 then. We do have progress to show.
Yes, it is now current year +1. Yeah, we're good. It's going to be the new. Well, you have to understand what they're doing is they're setting up for the new calendar. Like we have the Gregorian calendar, and soon we'll have the social justice calendar, and 2015 is going to be year 1.
The Trudeau calendar.
I mean, the Christian calendar is oppressing people. Clearly, they'll get to it. They'll get to it.
They should stop speaking English and French. Those are very oppressive languages.
But they're languages that were clearly used to spread white supremacist ideologies, so that certainly is not okay.
You know, that's true. I can't even deny it. Real truth right there. Speaking the truth.
You want more Trudeau?
We could do we'll give him one more go.
Go for it. But we are where we are because of the hard work that we did in 2015 and in 2014, in 2013, and in 2012.
Why years? Why just list years? What speechwriter did this?
We were doing lots of hard work in 2015, 2014, 2013. 2012 was not the greatest of years, but it was a little bit of a dip. 2011 was good though. 2010, 2009, 2008.
Yeah, I don't understand what his point is.
Well, when I first ran for the leadership of my party. You see, here's an interesting fact that I'm sure many of you are familiar with. Studies have shown that women are 50% less likely than men to consider themselves potential candidates for elected office.
Well, and God forbid we have people in elected office that feel like they should be doing it. Instead, let's just jam random women into that position to rule the country, and nothing could possibly go wrong.
Yeah, if you feel discouraged, people I shouldn't run for public office because people wouldn't like it, then chances are you should not be running for public office. That's why we like strong leaders.
Yeah, well, at very least we have to acknowledge decisiveness is a good thing. I mean, and you're not that, and if people aren't sure if they should run for government, then they probably shouldn't.
There's this extremely important job that I'm thinking about applying for, but I'm not 100% committed. I'm on the fence, politician, mailman, one of the two. I'll flip a coin, see what happens. Oh, I got politician. Okay. That was Justin Trudeau's life. He was like, "Am I going to deliver mail? Nah, I guess I'll run the country.
I'll just run for one of the highest cabinet positions in my country. It's fine. It's the same thing. It's mailman.
I'm in charge. This is amazing. First time in my life.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Enough of you, sir.
Let's be done. Fuck that. Fuck you, Justin. Let's do. We don't even necessarily have to go in order. Actually, let's do 4. Let's do that Twitter thing. That's interesting. Yeah, it's really short too. Actually, if you stop by.
Okay.
So I cut this out of a larger news story, but it had to do with Twitter's 10-year anniversary. And the CEO of Twitter, this guy gets brought on the news, and they ask him about censorship on Twitter. Which I think we can all acknowledge is happening to some degree or another.
Yeah.
Certain accounts being unverified, certain things not showing up. It's kind of suspect. This guy also is the most indecisive person I've ever seen, even more than Hillary and Trudeau combined. When he was asked, what do you think about Donald Trump being able to spread hateful rhetoric on Twitter? He's like, it's good that people have the opportunity to use the platform and hear from people they like on the platform. It's like, oh, that's not really an answer, but
so you're not going to censor Trump because it would be too obvious, but
yeah, it's basically like asking, do you support Trump? And it's like, oh, I support his right to use my product.
Oh, fantastic.
Let's watch this.
Actually, he stopped by today and got grilled by Matt Lauer on things like censorship.
Does Twitter censor the content of its users? Does it hide what it would consider inflammatory comments, whether they be social or political?
Absolutely not. Twitter's always been about controls. People can follow whoever they want. And it's our job to make sure they see the most important things and the things that matter to them.
In the answer.
Huh?
It's like a product placement in the answer. Like, you know, they can follow who they want. You know, they can sign up for Twitter, maybe make multiple accounts, follow lots of people, like, retweet. Yeah, that's how it goes.
Yeah, that's not. It was a. Excuse me. It was a non-answer.
Yeah. So thanks. We heard it from the Most High that there is no problem. I'm looking. I think we might go out of order, actually. We can do. Let's do Young Turks. Let's do 6.
All right.
This one's bad.
I imagine it would be.
Yeah, they're talking about Sam Harris.
Of course they are, because that's how they get clicks. The desperate
fucking haters.
Desperate bitches.
From everyone who comes by, leaves a dislike and a comment like "fuck you, Cenk, you fat buffalo." That's the audience that you're amassing.
Yeah, basically. I mean, even their live stream chats are fucking shitstorms of people insulting. All their comment sections are shitstorms. They get a ton of downvotes. I don't understand what they think they're doing, but it's not working.
I honestly feel bad for like the few true-blooded TYT supporters who are like caught in the middle, just kind of like, oh, should I even comment here? What do I do?
Seriously.
I had promised a Sam Harris quote.
I imagine most of their ardent fans are between the ages of 13 and 16. That's just my guess.
This is the news, guys.
Yeah, exactly. It's high school news as far as I'm concerned.
Carla Zeus is more mature. There's a screenshot right there.
Yeah.
Wow.
There's the buffaloing.
Someone make something beautiful out of that.
Yeah, that's a shame face for Cenk right there.
Like, I can't believe I'm about to actually bring up Sam Harris election coverage.
It looked like Cenk. It looked like Cenk making a dookie.
I'm just gonna bring up my arch enemy for no reason.
Yeah. Wanna
Sam Harris.
In our last debate coverage, so why not give it to you today? Okay, it's fun for everybody. So today, Ben Carson.
Why are you so angry, dog? You seem really upset right now, dude. Like, seriously, it's not even a joke. He seemed seriously pissed off.
Because he's talking about Sam Harris. I'd be pissed if I was Cenk and I was talking about Sam Harris.
That's true. It's like the kid that used to pick on you.
Yeah, well, you know, he's never going to go anywhere in life.
I'm
going to make it big time and be in a jacuzzi with the ladies. Sam, he peaked in high school.
Yeah, I can't wait till he's 50 and he's at that point where he's wearing gold chains and lets his chest hair out of that top button.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
He goes full Turk on us. When he goes full Turk on us, that's how we'll know.
You never go full Turk, dude.
It has endorsed Donald Trump. Okay. And so he dropped that a little while ago. And I thought that was a good time to remind you guys what someone said about him. Okay. Now this is Sam Harris. Oh no. Everybody flip out. Okay. He said, give it?
Yeah, I bet it's in the title, isn't it? Yeah, Sam Harris.
It was such a surprise. Oh no.
Yeah, I clicked on this because I knew you guys were going to talk about Sam Harris because that's what you wanted me to do. Like, that's why I stopped watching TYT. I don't even do this except for this because these guys I'm not going to feed their fucking egos.
It's such a surprise. Oh no, guys. Maybe that's what he's thinking. Like his audience, they hear the name Sam Harris and they're like, hiss. No.
Yeah, that's some of the leafy people here.
A choice between Noam Chomsky and Ben Carson in terms of the totality of their understanding of what's happening in the world. I'd vote for Ben Carson every time. Every time. Wait, are you sure?
Yes, and I have said in a public forum that I would vote for a small dog over Hillary Clinton.
The point is, it was an insult.
Exactly.
Directed at Noam Chomsky, because we all realize that Ben Carson's fucking horrible. That's the joke.
But the problem is Noam Chomsky's even worse. That's the joke. At least Ben Carson knows that radical Islam is an issue.
Yeah, if we can give him one thing, we'll give him that. Cenk has so misconstrued this to the point. I wonder, this is one of those cases where I wonder if he's being dishonest or being stupid. Because I'm a little on the fence in this case.
I'm not. He's dishonest. Yeah, he's dishonest. I have no question in my mind about that anymore.
You know what it is? It's that little sly little smirk.
Yeah, he smile. It's I don't remember what they're called, but basically it's subconscious facial movements that can actually give away what you really do, what you really mean. And some of his are really obvious. The way he tilts his head down for some deliveries. I mean, that's literally like, dude, they literally remake that in Hollywood to give that effect of someone lying. Because we impulsively feel like you're lying because you're fucking lying.
Yes, absolutely.
You're not misquoting him.
No, by definition I am, because I have not quoted every single book that he's ever written, or that entire podcast, hence that is quote mining. Hold on.
Or even that whole part.
Yeah, the whole sentence. Or the actual intent of the sentence. That would be considered quote mining.
Yeah.
You deliver a quote from someone in the context it was not delivered in, and try to sell it another way. Yes, you're quote mining.
Yeah, I love that he's like, now he's so used to people explaining what he's doing that now he has to be defensive in his own original broadcast. Because he's so dishonest. That means he does pay attention to the people that call him out, which is really funny.
Of course he does. How could he not notice?
Well, that means that they're right. That's what I'm saying. People that don't notice, are people that would actually be able to look at their critiques and go, oh, it's a conspiracy nut, or oh, this person's just angry, or no, he gets mad because he realizes he's been caught doing these things before. So now he feels defensive, so he has to defend himself live on his own show as he's making the statements.
It's just so sad and pathetic to watch him talk about Sam Harris at this point.
Seriously.
It's just like my God. They need to change the title of the Sam Harris interview. Like, they cleared the air.
And an important question is, the guy just to his left or right of him,
That guy is a veteran.
But did they intentionally get a guy that looked like him? Was that the point?
A little bit.
Was the point of this to get a guy that just looked like Ted Cruz? Because he looks like Ted Cruz.
A little bit. Maybe it's Ted in disguise.
I have more on that, though. Let's give as much context as we can. He does say, as always, out of both sides of his mouth, Ben Carson is a dangerously deluded religious imbecile. The fact that he's a candidate for president is a scandal. But at the very least, he can be counted on to sort of get this one right. He understands that jihadists are the enemy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Exactly. So it's exactly what I said. He even said he's a dangerously deluded religious nut job, but at least on one point, he's right. That can be a thing.
Point is pretty important. It becomes, yeah, I agree. Ben Carson. I actually made a video about Ben Carson's Muslim comments because they were pretty bad. But at the same time,
Noam Chomsky says it's nothing to do with it. So
yeah, exactly. That's the point that's being made.
One person
is not endorsing Ben Carson for president.
No.
He just insulted him.
Yes, and he was using the level of insult he used against one to further denigrate the other. That was the point. That's the structure of the insult. If I have to break it down for you, Cenk, the structure is this person is a dangerously deluded religious moron, and yet still has a better grasp on the reality of the situation than this other person.
and this is where I kind of get into like maybe Cenk's just stupid, because I could be like, Cenk, you know what? I trust the news more from Glenn Beck than you. And he'd be like, oh, do you support Glenn Beck? Are you an active listener of Glenn Beck?
No, I've never.
That's not what I'm saying.
No.
I'm saying that both are horrible, and you just happen to be more horrible, and I'm actually insulting you by comparing you to someone who's poison.
Yes. Exactly.
Deluded religious clown, but understands foreign policy better than Noam Chomsky because he understands that jihadists are the enemy.
Well, there's the straw man. He didn't say foreign policy, he said on this one issue, and it's not foreign policy, it's on jihadi terrorism.
That's it.
You manipulative, fat piece of shit.
This feels like a news story that just Cenk wanted to do. Like everyone else,
yeah.
Look how uncomfortable everyone else is.
Yeah, look at his face. Look at this face.
Like, I can't believe we're actually talking about Sam Harris again on the Young Turks.
He's like, I've shot at jihadis. This guy's like, I don't know, I've shot at these people as they scream Allahu Akbar. Yes. This guy's like, I can't believe Cenk just laughed after he said jihadi terrorism was bad. And she's just denoted and in love as always. I think that he has poisoned her with some sort of potion.
I think maybe she's just lost in the void right now. She's just like, there's nothing to be said, because Cenk is on his weekly Sam Harris jab.
Yeah, he's just got to get it off his chest, man. I mean,
I get the feeling they wanted to hide this, because this was actually on their political channel. This wasn't on the main TYT channel.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, so maybe they were trying to hide it, but they didn't, because I found this from fucking Lalo, you fat brown buffalo.
Yes, Lalo is haunting you, by the way, so get used to that.
An even number of likes and dislikes, at least, and a bunch of comments saying, wow, this is just petty and stupid.
Yes, childish attacks are very professional, Cenk. Keep going.
This is a children's show at this point.
Wow, that is sophisticated.
It's super sophisticated. You know, most people don't know that jihadists are the enemy.
We had no idea.
We actually thought jihadists were lovely people.
Why didn't we just say it earlier?
Like weirdos.
Yeah, it's just sarcastic pushing. I mean, they don't actually have a point to make here, because they constantly say it's not a problem.
Are jihadis the bad guys? Right? No?
This from the same group that I could pull a clip up that says that Islamic terrorism isn't the problem, it's actually white Christian terrorism. I can pull up that video if I had to. I mean, I obviously didn't do my research on this one, but trust me, I've seen that video.
Oh yeah. There's a lot of videos like that.
So let's not act like you don't believe and behave like you believe these things yourself.
We had said they probably would have been solved by.
Is jihadist the new word for Muslim?
Is it a catch for a lot of people? They call jihad?
Okay. Nope. I'm out.
Is jihadist the new word for Muslim?
I'll literally fucking hang myself. I cannot take that level of obfuscation again. We have done this so many... I have unpacked this so many times, I physically can't go through it again.
I'm just gonna keep giving you Young Turk clips.
I can do the Young Turks, but when someone literally says, is this what we're saying for Muslims now? Nope, I'm out. I can't. I fucking can't. Oh my god. Why would you said that, dude, you said that shit out loud on like a program that goes out to the world.
It went out live.
Fuck.
I'm looking what else would be good, because we might end up doing, we can do, let's do the Tomi Lahren one while we're at it. That one's short, and then we might do one more thing.
Yeah, at least. We just got rolling.
Yeah, this is gonna be a nice shift from the.
Yep. Buckle in.
Yeah. I need something right wing to make fun of. I can't. I've done too much left wing stuff.
Yep. Buckle in. We're whipping to the other aisle now.
Here we go.
Yes, go on.
I hate the intro so much.
Yeah, why does everyone, at least, okay, listen, make your intro somewhat quieter than this. And very brief. I know this one's probably going to last 5 seconds because it's, a 2-minute long video, but holy shit.
Video.
It's too much. Oh, it's this bitch again.
Yep, we have a lot of stuff from her. There's a future video that I'm gonna get, but she did an interview with the director of God's Not Dead 2, and talked about the atheist complaints. That sounds funny. We'll get that one too.
What is that in this? Is that in this bundle?
No. This is another one that actually got some media attention. She's basically saying, she's like, where are all the men? You know, like, because no one's a man anymore. Masculinity is just a dead thing.
Sweet.
All the fucking millennials, which she is one. It's like, it's just garbage. She's the other end of crazy, basically.
Yeah. Well, it's the you know what I think is kind of interesting is that if you note that all this is happening in mainly urbanized areas, it's because in these areas all these stereotypes tend to be true. But if you live in an area like I do, where I can literally leave the city or any sort of cityscape and go out to countryside in 30 minutes, you see that, trust me, there are still plenty of emasculate men, okay? There are plenty of big, burly, bearded, tree-cutting fucking dudes out there.
They build tables like Gavin told them to.
No, for serious, they do. They literally build tables out of pine wood in my area. So, I mean, yeah, that's literally their job. So it's
such a strange argument to me, because really, when you look at the people like spearheading this movement against social justice, it is like young men. That is the focus of the movement.
Yeah.
There are plenty of
Well, of
men
course it is. We're the ones getting hit in the back of the head.
Yeah, like, so it's... I think you could make an argument that there are more men who are pissed off about this than are, like, you know, like feminists, really. I think you could. Yeah, we can go.
Hey, welcome back for my
That's not annoying at all.
final thoughts. I'm going to do something a little different with these final thoughts. Get a little bit more personal, if that's okay. That last
It's not.
Yeah, no, this is creepy already.
segment about hazing and fraternities got my wheels turning. It brought to mind something I talk to my friends about on a daily basis, but until now haven't really shared with you, my viewers.
How did we go from hazing and fraternities to where are all the men? This gets dark. I feel like this gets dark.
Personal. I know we were just mentioning fraternities. Let's get personal.
It's not politically correct, and actually not even that political, but it is important. Is it just...
She's pretty shrill, dude. They need to work on her mic settings or something. She is hot as hell on that mic.
To me, or have men gotten really soft these days? I talk about the breakdown of the American family ruining our country, and this is part of it. Yeah, I know the feminists are going to go crazy over this, because there are women's studies classes dedicated...
The feminists are gonna go crazy over this.
It's only like 2 o'clock in the afternoon where I live, man. I can't even drink. You can't. You can't say shit like that. Is just that's like one of the reasons why I think Milo's funny, but I can't take him seriously. Yes. You like go out of your way to be provocative instead of actually just saying things that you think and that you think are novel ideas, and then putting those out there, in spite of their potential to be provocative. When you go out of your way, here it is, some feminist bait. I'm going to troll the feminists just because I can.
Yeah, it's pretty pathetic and lowbrow.
Yeah, but it's just even doing it with that level of self-knowledge. Like, I make feminist videos where I'm trying to explain why their arguments are wrong, or I'm just mocking their insanity. But I don't then go out and go, hey, check it out, and send videos to them and be like, hey, let's have a fucking... I'm trying to offend all the feminists in the world with this idea. I want the clickbait, click me. Like, don't do that.
I like there's people in our chat fapping to this video.
Of course they are.
Demonizing masculinity, so there's one symptom of a larger disease. Who would have thought in 2016 we would go...
1 second. Okay, this is a really important to know. Oh, that's an unfortunate
point. Ow!
This is an important point to make, because she says it's feminists who are demonizing masculinity. She then goes on for the rest of this video to talk about what shit men are.
Yeah.
So, wow, what a lack of self-awareness, you stupid bimbo.
Yeah, that's lovely, really it is. And did they buy the old Comedy Central sign in the back there? What is that?
The Blaze was running out of funds. They were just like, no one will notice.
We just got told to leave it there.
because we're just using the studio part-time.
Oh, Jesus.
Holding up frat boys in the last line of defense against an all-out pansy fest. And this has nothing to do with sexuality, by the way. More so it has to do with the helplessness of today's young men. It seems few can change a light bulb, let alone fix a flat tire or change oil.
What? So we're just going full bore crazy then.
Yeah.
Did she just...
A lot of men can't really till the fields anymore either. This is what?
Yeah, I got nothing.
Look, you don't need to, you know why people don't, by and large, don't need to know how to change their oil? Because there's someone who does that for a fucking job.
Oh, and for the record, statistically, that's a man.
Yeah. Ooh.
They're still out there. They're not disappeared either, okay? Fucking relax.
I like that they screenshotted that when she had her mouth open.
Of course they did.
So, yeah, send that to me on Twitter or whatever anyone comes up with. That's brilliant.
And that makes for pretty slim pickings for the females out there looking for a match. Chivalry is all but dead, and so is manliness. And by the way, wearing a flannel shirt and having a beard doesn't make you a man if you still can't change a tire and you're scared of the dark.
You're a strong, independent woman, but you still want chivalry.
Of course.
Oh, that's how convenient.
Pretty standard, really. I mean, it's the argument that we argue against from every side. Like, you do not get to employ a double standard.
I want people to cater to me, but at the same time, I want them to tell me how strong and ferocious I am. Best of both worlds.
Yeah.
It seems like millennial men either don't have jobs or they're still using their parents' credit cards to buy us drinks at the bar. Oh, and for the record, I buy my own drinks. So who's fault?
Snap.
Congrats.
Independence, ladies.
That's impressive. I note you didn't say anything about paying your own rent, though.
Yeah, with her, she uses the funds that she gets from her job, in quotes.
Yeah.
Glenn back.
Whatever this is.
Yeah, this is a job now.
Is it our fault, ladies? Are we getting too strong? No, I don't buy that. See, a real man knows how to handle a strong woman, so this isn't our problem. Maybe it's the way boys are raised these days.
Responsible for anything. That's interesting.
Jesus, it's that kind of statement that's literally almost like saying, I want to be kept in line. That's almost what that sentence was.
Yeah, like
he just said a strong man, she just said a strong man can handle a strong woman.
Yeah, so you are strong and independent, but you also want someone strong and independent. Like, that's gonna go well. You have two, like, strong, independent, opinionated people, and see how they get along. That's gonna be amazing.
Fatherless homes and no male role models. It's hard to learn how to be a man with no man around. But even stable families are failing, though. If you're...
See, this is why I have a problem with these guys talking on these issues. Because they're muddying the waters with their own personal bullshit, instead of letting the issue stand and speak for itself, which it would do.
And it does reflect badly on the material that we do. It really does. You know, even someone like Milo, who I like. Milo's funny. He's entertaining, and he's made some good points, but at the same time, Milo says a lot of stupid shit. And then, anti-feminist Milo Yiannopoulos, are you speaking against feminism? You're probably in support of everything Milo has ever said.
Yeah, he builds a convenient straw man, and then we all have to deal with it.
Sure.
Don thinks cleaning his room is a chore. That's your fault, not his. If you take your 7-year-old son into the ladies' room, that's your fault, not his. Please teach your sons...
What?
So... But what if it's like a single mom, and like maybe I don't want to like send him in there with a bunch of strangers, or was that supposed to be like a transgender jab?
I'm not sure. I don't even know where that was headed, but it's still just.
That could go in a million.
How to be men, because the women of the world are tired of the boys. As always, those are my final thoughts. You know what I think.
All right. Well, that was useless. Thank you for being a useless human being.
She can chill out her shit. Follow me on Twitter and Facebook.
You are a useless human being. Jesus Christ.
I want to do let's do 12. Let's do Can White People Sing Black Songs from your favorite. She's your favorite, right, Hagbar?
Oh yeah,
Sure.
yeah, she's great.
Count. Ugh. Not useless. I not building.
Oh no, nope. I'm glad I paused it. Nope, nuh-uh. I'm not listening to another obnoxious peppy intro, and you can't make me.
You're just
Nope.
like skipping through second by second. When does this end?
Nope. All right, there we go. Perfect.
Sure. Let's just walk.
You guys have been asking me what I think about Beyonce's new song and the Super Bowl performance and the video and everything. And personally, I think that whether or not you like Beyonce,
What is with this delivery? Ugh.
What is with this, like, music? This copyright-free music that they put in the back of all these videos? Is it supposed to keep us interested? Because it makes me want to turn it off even faster.
Yeah, and I don't know if we've discussed the Beyonce thing before, but I don't understand it. I looked at every lyric in that song, and nothing about it is a black anthem.
Yeah, like, what's more of a black anthem is the Super Bowl thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, the song was really just whatever for me. I was like, oh, it's just...
Yeah, the issue that people took with it was imagery.
Sure, the music video did do more of that.
Yeah, because there would have been no problem if these had all been white guys, right? If these had all been just in the exact same garb, you wouldn't even have to change anything. Just put all white people in a similar outfit and see how that goes over in a Super Bowl. They'd look like Nazis. They'd look like neo-Nazis.
Yes.
You did that to yourself, sweetheart. You made poor fashion choices.
They look, looking at like a still image, they look more like dominatrixes than I had realized.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, it's not something that people should be taking pride in. It's not a good look.
Yeah, no.
you should acknowledge that this was a
Okay, Kat, I'm gonna have to bring your ass down. You don't get to shout at me and the entire audience. It's too much.
She's angry.
calculated move that brought the conversation of police brutality to a national, an international stage.
Oh, is that always the excuse when someone does something dumb nowadays? Listen, it was stupid, I shouldn't have done it, but I brought the conversation up. I started the discussion. Yeah, but you lied to start the discussion. Yeah, but I started the discussion, so...
We were already talking about police brutality, though. Like, it's already been a big issue for several years in the minds of a lot of people. You didn't need to take it to the Super Bowl. Everyone, literally everyone, already knows. They said this on the Young Turks in that one clip I covered. They're like, oh, they're bringing it to, upper middle class, rich white people who need to hear this message. They just need to hear it.
Yeah, and when they hear it and they go, wow, this is kind of dumb and I think it's stupid, then you just call them all racist. So, deal with that.
I think she addressed a lot of things that a lot of people were not expecting her to address. While again, I definitely don't believe that it's free from problematic aspects, it's also
Even this wasn't good enough. Fuck.
It's kind of like when they were pissed about Macklemore's White Privilege 2 song.
Nothing's good enough, dude. Nothing's ever good enough.
I offered a sacrifice. I offered tribute. Not good enough. Rob the man.
I demand your firstborn and your soul. This is why I agree with the Jim stance, the Mr. Metacore stance. Give not 1 inch when these people start complaining.
It's true.
It will accomplish nothing. They will just go, hey, I got one thing, I'll take some more. No, thank you.
I want a cookie. Hey, I wanted 2 cookies.
thought has empowered a lot of black people, and it's
Has it? Has it empowered a lot of black people?
It's scary that that's empowering for anyone. Like, here's some, we're dressed up as an anarchist group. That empowers you.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the last thing black people need is to be compared to criminals. That is not empowering in the slightest.
Nah, it's
I think
fine.
that was what they were trying to get away from in terms of like being associated with.
Nah, it's fine. It's totally fine. Everything about the imagery is fine. We're just bigots. You know how it is.
Ugh.
Cat Black, your hair is fake.
a very clear
really stupid point later on. We might jump ahead to that.
Where's about?
Let's jump like halfway. Let's see what's going on.
Something that is generally used against you and reclaiming it and making it.
Okay, just on a technical note, when you reshoot, you need to rebalance your camera.
Oh my god, yeah, the lighting. What the fuck?
Yeah, when you shift your shot like that, or change cameras, which I'm not sure which it was because I didn't see the transfer, but you have to have the same balance on the cameras. This looks like an entirely different skin tone. None of this is right anymore. I mean, I'm not just saying, it's a technical issue.
Something that's beautiful and something to be celebrated. Now, I already know what the comment section of this video is going to say. So you're saying that a white person can't cover a black song? That is racist. You, man, are keeping racism alive.
Wow. I don't even know what to say, dude. That's just garbage.
Well, let's see. Well, she's gonna say no. So it's fine if white people cover a black person's song.
I'm sure.
Is that what's coming?
I'm sure that's completely fine.
Place your bets. Place your bets, ladies and gentlemen. Do you think that she's gonna say it's okay?
I wonder.
No, Rebecca. Listen. All I'm saying is that the song is just not made for you. Anti-Latinx.
Look, that's just not for you. Hands off.
Listen, let me explain something. Computers were just not made for you black people. They were made for whites and Asians. I'm just saying, you didn't have anything to do with the creation of early computing. You had nothing to do with you've made very few, if any, contributions. So that it's not made for you. Neither are shoes.
Neither are glasses.
I'm just saying, if this is the game you guys want to play, understand, you're creating what's known as a social technology. And if it gets out of your hands, you're in for it. This is your doing. You're building the walls of your own destruction here.
Yeah, she's about to get to the point.
Covered a song called Strange Fruit that was written by an American songwriter by the name of Abel Merciful. Strange Fruit was an anti-lynching song that was written after Merciful saw a photograph of a black man being lynched. Terrified and startled, he wrote a poem and then later set it to music. Blood on the leaves.
So, she shouldn't have done it because she's a white person, and it's a song about something bad that happened to black people, and it's a song of sympathy, by the way. It's a song of emotive feeling, and I shouldn't feel anything when I see a lynched black person. Check.
This is the point that I wanted to make, because people might know that I'm actually quite a big fan of one Kanye West. But even I will acknowledge when he's put out a stinker. And he put out Yeezus, which is easily one of the worst albums of all time. And on that album, there's a song called Blood on the Leaves that features some samples from this song.
And I'm sure it's so much more tastefully done than this white woman did, right?
Yes, it's a black man, paying tribute to really his heritage and history. It's a song about getting bitches in the club and making money. That's what the song's about. It's a fucking disgusting piece of shit.
Jesus, I wish I didn't know that, Reese.
Look it up.
You've just broke my heart. Because I actually am very familiar with this song. I'm actually into 1930s to 50s torch songs. These kind of single woman and a piano songs I love. And I'm very familiar with the song. Why would he do that? This is literally a song about lynching. He turned it into a club anthem?
Yes, look it up.
Fuck
up
me.
Kanye West, Blood on the Leaves is one of the worst songs I've ever heard.
Well, that's depressing, Reese. This podcast is working out. That's nightmare fuel. Why?
That is nightmare fuel. Do you want to maybe do anything else? What do you think?
I'm down for one more.
Sure. Let's. Oh my God, I am looking. We could talk about. Do you want to do 11? It's the atheists are opening up a theme park to counter Ken Ham's Ark theme park.
What?
Yeah, and it's it's the Tri-State Free Thinkers. We'll just watch. It's short.
Yeah, it's 1 minute and 24 seconds.
I am Jim Helton, president of the Tri-State Free Thinkers and regional director for American Atheists here in Kentucky. Answers in Genesis is spending $150 million to build a replica of Noah's Ark called the Ark Encounter in Williamstown, Kentucky. We at the Tri-State Free Thinkers will defend their right to build such a park. However, we find this story immoral that's in the Bible and highly inappropriate for children.
You know, and the one thing I'll criticize in this, one, technical, again, lavalier mic should not be visible. The purpose of a lavalier mic is to not be visible.
Yes.
And do not do this in front of a black and white portrayal of Charles Darwin. It makes it look saintly.
I was more concerned about the tucked shirt.
I can deal with that. I understand. He's in Kentucky. I mean, this is a certain thing. He's a professional in Kentucky. I mean, that shirt's made of polyurethane. I guarantee it. That's a polyester shirt. He's got a certain vibe to him. He sells cars or something.
He's breaking the laws of Leviticus currently.
Yeah.
In addition to, state government is giving them millions of dollars of tax incentives while allowing them to have discriminatory hiring practices.
Well, that's a bit of an issue. I agree.
Yeah. It's garbage they're even building this park. But I do defend their right to do so. I might even visit.
I had, in Florida, there's actually a religious theme park called the Holy Land. And it is fucking hilarious. It is really fun. It would be called in several aspects racist in modern times, but not enough people who would even know to call it that go there. So no one calls it racist because it's all just religious nuts that go there.
Fair enough. They're all pretty much racist, so...
Yeah, it works out.
Answers in Genesis is planning a launch of this theme park based on genocide and incest July 7th. We at the Tri-State Free Thinkers need your help. We want to raise enough...
Wait, based on genocide and incest? I'm going to this park.
You know what? If Ken Ham sold it like that, yeah, I think more people would show up.
Yeah, no shit.
The actual attractions were like people drowning in like incest. I think those would be better exhibits in the actual arc.
Seriously.
Money. Put up billboards all over the area to let people be aware of how horrible this story in the Bible actually is. The more money we get, the more billboards we can put up in all different areas. In addition to, we want to do a counter-protest on their opening day and throw a huge party and invite all the free thinkers and atheists to come all over to show support for reason and logic and not superstition and myths.
Ironically, one of my friends is going to this. He's bicycling from here to this area, and he's going to go to this convention they hold in July.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, he's going to bicycle from there.
I support anyone's rights who want to go have... It's not even really a protest, it's just like a party. An atheist party at the genocide and incest park.
Yeah.
That's
awesome. That would be a good time, to be fair.
And with a special donation, we will take all donations. Any support is appreciated, but with a special donation of $500, you can join myself, along with other famous atheists and free thinkers, including David Silverman, president of American Atheists, and be drowning in the ocean looking up to the ark. And what an honor that will be. We appreciate.
Is that a thing they can do? Are they actually going to stay in the water?
Yeah, it seems...
If they can for serious do that, that's actually pretty funny. No,
I wonder if they're working in conjunction with Ken Ham, like behind the scenes. Ken and David are like friends. Like, hey, wouldn't it be funny if like we got to drown?
Well, look, all I'm saying is that there was a guy that in the 1920s was running a cruise line to get ex-slaves back to Africa. He got a good portion of his funding from the KKK. So, I mean, there have been stranger bedfellows.
Or like what's his name, Barry Goldwater, we talked about a few episodes ago.
Yeah.
He got support from the KKK.
Exactly.
You know, back when they actually mattered, not when the Young Turks reference them. You know, that was kind of short. I think we can do one more thing.
Sure.
We're doing good. Let's do. Oh my God. you want to do? The understanding the mind of the oppressor, if you want.
Oh, brilliant!
James Jackson. Or,
we'll do this. We'll do this, and then a James Jackson, and then we'll call it a day.
Sure, sounds good.
Fuck it. We were late.
This one is so crazy. Like, this is like, I played this woman once. She is a loon.
Why are they all so high up, man? Fuck.
Yeah, for real.
Alright, go to the beginning.
We are currently existing in a reality in which Satan is the but in a sense, it's...
This escalated way more quickly than I was expected it was going to.
That's the way the video starts out.
I couldn't, I could only literally see understanding the mind. So,
yeah,
in Satan's system of slavery, man, she buried the lead big time on that.
Yeah, it should be called Understanding the Mind of a Lunatic.
It should be, if she were trying to get her message out, it would be something along the lines of, Satan is the mind of the oppressor, or something. I mean, you gotta really fucking pull that lead out.
No, she's good.
A superficial rulership, because the creator of heaven and earth, the Father, is actually in control and in charge, but as...
Then how would Satan have any control? That's really the question, isn't it?
It's like, yeah, if that's the case, why is anyone worried at all?
And if God is letting Satan do this, why is he such a dick?
It's a fun little game.
God just wants to see oppressors torture the oppressed for some period of time that he's distinguished for himself, and then he'll move on, or what?
Yes.
I find your God's rules arbitrary and ever-changing.
No, dude, he's pretty firm on some rules. Genocide and incest for the win. Those get thumbs up.
It
Free the oppressed, not so much.
When Adam and Eve were in the Garden of Eden and Satan is cast down, he is used as an example on a larger scale, a much larger scale, of what not to do and what not to become. So therefore, we're given a choice between the Father and between, the broad path that Satan presents.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. There's someone in the chat that says we should move on because they think this person's crazy. This person is presenting a understanding of theological argument here. This is a true... I'm not even joking. This person's not crazy. They're expounding on truly understanding the theology of Christianity. This is what she believes. She's not necessarily crazy unless all religious people are crazy.
I mean, that's a strange request to me. Everyone we've been covering is crazy.
Yeah, I mean, this person in particular, I mean, they're presenting their case somewhat logically. I mean, this isn't a rambling... I've done crazier on my own channel.
Pretty crazy, Hagbard.
Yeah, this person seems to be presenting an argument from a theological perspective. I'm actually kind of curious where she's going with this.
I can't even begin to tell you how much it goes off the rails.
Oh, this comes loose soon, huh?
Very soon.
Let's see where it looks here.
Then it becomes easier to understand that you can't trust the education system, you can't trust the financial system, you can't trust all these benevolent systems that have been created are not benevolent.
Down with the system.
This is like seriously like some weird horseshoey stuff, except I've never seen... This is what right-wing people rant about too. Sure. There are right-wing Christians that say these same things. That's interesting.
But it goes back to that kind of just distrust of government, and they kind of justify it by saying, well, the government's not in conjunction with God, so they're wrong.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, it's the same argument that's being used with some success in the Middle East, so...
Long period of time, because if they weren't good at what they did, then the oppressed would just rebel. They constantly rebel, constantly push at this oppressive system because they know it's oppressive and they know that this system is slowly destroying them. But an oppressor who is working under Satan, who is put there to oppress,
So she's a Christian Marxist.
Yeah, pretty much.
Fantastic combination there, dear.
And,
that is just not something you hear very often. Wow.
If you're interested, Hagbard, she has hundreds of videos on her channel.
Holy shit.
I think her channel name is something Nihilist. I'll try to find it, but I think Nihilist is in the title.
What an amazing combination.
Quite. Later on in that video, because we're probably going to move on, she talks about a flat Earth, just to let you know.
Sure, yeah, it's another one of those side effects of believing in things in the Bible.
Yeah, pretty crazy. So let's do one more. We could do one of your favorites. We either have James Jackson or Merciful Servant. What do you feel?
Oh, I guess we'll do Merciful Servant to avoid someone who I know for a fact has a mental disorder.
Yeah. So this isn't like making fun of the mentally challenged.
So as not to cringe my chat too much here.
Yeah, sure. We'll do Merciful Servant. He's talking about black magic, which sounds oddly racist.
Oh, yes, I love this one. I scanned through it a couple weeks ago, but this is good. There's no refuting it because it's utter insanity. It's like the jinns. It's like their belief in the genies.
You know, that's so strange to me that they talk about it with such confidence. Like, yeah, you know, the jinns that exist? Like, what? The jinns? What are you even talking about?
Alright, take me away. Alright, once again I'm gonna have to crank you down. Oh yeah, it is the Jinn series, see?
I want to see that trend, Jinn series.
Hashtag Jinn series.
Can you imagine if you saw that trending?
Jesus, I'd just laugh my ass off. That would be how I knew that truly someone had successfully immanentized the Eschaton. I mean, the end times were upon us at that point. I mean, they were going to... It's madness.
Wow.
First of all, in Sahih Muslim, whoever goes to a fortune teller and asks him about something and believes him, his prayer will not be accepted for 40 days.
Wow. I can't believe he said that with such, just like, yeah,
Jesus,
you know,
that's weirdly... Do you not see how weirdly fucking specific that is? His prayer will not be accepted for 40 days. Exactly 40, it's fine. After that, I guess you're absolved of having believed in pagan stuff like, 40 days ago.
You know, it's funny because if you go to the fortune teller and they tell you, but you don't believe them, then you're fine.
So you can still frequent fortune tellers as long as it's just for fun? I mean... I don't understand.
You can go to the brothel if you just look.
How fucking bizarre.
40 days, man. 40 days.
And that's very, very important. It's very specific there. It's 40 days. For 40 days. It's not just for, a period of time. No, 40 days.
Either this is divinely inspired, or it's because the human race kind of has an obsession with, decimal numbers.
Yeah.
Or metric numbers, rather.
There is another wording of this hadith. Which
oh God, we're in the hadiths. Help us.
Says that the one that doesn't believe...
At least when they stick to the Quran, there's at least some chance you can have a discussion. But when they've gotten into the hadiths, it's a whole fucking slew of whether it's this or that or...
The hadiths are kind of like the Star Wars expanded universe.
Yeah.
You might be talking to someone like, they're a nerd, like...
That's a perfect understanding of it. The Quran is essentially the original trilogy.
Yeah, and then yes, guess what, sir? I got into the hadiths.
Yeah, exactly. Oh shit, he's been on, what is it called? Wiki or something? Wikipedia? He's been digging around Wikipedia. We're in trouble.
Awesome. It's so true.
And yes, it is an awesome vampire movie. These guys' production values are pretty fucking high. It's startling sometimes.
I really want to know. I mean, I checked on the show before where I watched the video. They have 500,000 subscribers. Mm-hmm. So they must be pulling in some decent money. Because they do have a. I mean, that's really the key behind any good propaganda.
Well, the funny part is, I know their technique is they actually take lectures from random videos, and then they just overlay imagery on them. That's why the audio is so fucking janky sometimes. You can hear people coughing and shit in the background because it's just in a random mosque.
Wow.
Believe him, his prayer will be accepted for 40 days. And whoever believes in what he said, he has disbelieved in what was revealed to Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam.
What are we even looking at?
Tarot cards.
And the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said,
Fuck you, balance your audio.
Are those people who believe in omens or have omens read for them. So we say that the conclusion to this is that if you were to go to a fortune teller or a palm reader or a horoscope writer.
Yes. Do you want to continue giving individual fucking examples? Holy shit.
It's so clear that this is supposed to be for another time. Like, these are things, like, yeah, this stuff still happens, but is this, like, happening on some, like, massive stage where we need to really address it? Are people in mass, like, I need to go see
Well, listen, it's a typical Judeo-Christian thing, man. These guys are competition. They're another aspect of spirituality, the mystics, if you will. So they're a problem. They can't be trusted, you can't let your people go to them. It's just, they're always a problem.
Well, I mean, yeah, the mystics, they set it up where they pretty much are God. Like, they have the answers. So you don't even need to believe in some, like, invisible God. God's giving you the cards, pretty much.
Yeah.
Or a TV, sort of psychic or mystic person or whatever it may be, your prayer would not be accepted for 40 days.
See, it's a way of punishing them for stepping outside the faith even tertially.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's when you put it that way, they're really it's like an enforcing method. Like,
yeah.
Stay in line, don't leave, don't even consider anything else.
Mm-hmm. It's super bizarre.
They're really insecure about this. Like, I think a lot of them realize that there are a lot of things that are more appealing than Islam.
Yeah, well, again, there's a very famous imam that recently went on TV and said that Islam would never have survived without the apostasy laws.
No, it would not have.
Yeah, that if it weren't, executable to leave the faith, then people would leave the faith.
If that has to be the punishment for leaving the faith, then that's a sign.
It's usually a pretty good sign, yeah.
Yeah, why are people, especially if there are people still willing to leave the faith, even under the threat of execution, it really speaks to how horrible it is.
Yeah, for real.
And if you believed in them, you would leave Islam. And the Prophet ﷺ indicated that fortune telling is a branch of magic. It is used in the same way. Now, we've already discussed in the module on the jinn, the way that the jinn climb on top of each other and they pass the news down.
Fuck, I can't.
They pass the... What are you even rambling about, dude?
Holy shit. Oh, this is why I think Islam is so much fun, because they're so upfront with this wacky shit that, I mean, to understand about some of the Christian stuff or Jewish stuff, you'd have to go to, like, sources. Like, you'd have to, like, literally end up in a church in the back room talking in depth with a priest before you'd hear some of this wacky shit.
I don't even think it's necessarily that. I think it's because, we're used to Jewish and Christian myths. They're a part of our culture. So when we hear this other bullshit, it, like, really
Well, no.
hits hard.
They're very particular about what they hammer in public churches nowadays. They don't talk about some of this really out there wacky shit. And these guys are, like, presenting it like, okay, so in the last chapter, we talked about how the jinn, like, are stacked on top of each other, and they pass the information down like a brain centipede. It's fine. It's so we've established this as fact. You're like, okay, Jesus Christ, what are we doing?
It was like that guy from Al Jazeera when he was debating Richard Dawkins. Richard Dawkins is like, so you believe Muhammad flew to heaven on a winged horse?
Yes,
I
technically a
believe
winged donkey.
Oh, well, that makes it better.
That's what I love. It's technically a winged donkey because they didn't have horses yet.
That's an even more beautiful image.
Yeah.
They pass it to the fortune teller who mixes, and they mix 100 lies with it, and the fortune teller is believed for the one truth that is heard from the heavens.
Oh, so the fortune tellers even are getting that one truth from the heavens. So to explain away the hits, they have to say it is given from the heavens, but that other times they have to lie.
Why is it being given from the heavens?
Because all good things come. No, because all good and right things come from Allah in Islam. All good and right things, regardless of their source.
So if I said something that fell in line with Islam, even though I am,
they would say that you were saying something Muslim.
Wow.
Yeah. Have you not had long scale debates with these guys, man? Yeah, that's how they think.
I can't do it.
It's amazing, but that's how they think. They'll literally say, like, if you say something like, some of the manosphere will say something along the lines of, men and women each have their place in society. Not something I agree with, because I believe that we have statistical norms and then we have outlying 20 or 30% that need to be enforced as well. However, these people will hear that and then go to their pages and type in the comments section, "See, this man sees the truth of Islam without ever having been taught it. He was granted it from heaven. See, this is a divine part of all of us."
Yeah, there's no way anyone could come to the same points in another route.
No, that's literally what they think, man. It's amazing, but that is how they perceive reality.
What self-congratulatory bullshit.
It's utter madness, but it is quite entertaining.
Yeah, I think we can be done. This is garbage.
Fair. Let me get one. Let's see what he's at here. Let's see if it's worth anything.
Are out there misguiding individuals.
Oh, well, at least the imagery's nice. Look at that.
Yeah, maybe if I muted it.
That's the secret. That's the secret. You just mute it, and then it could be a documentary discovery. Today, on moving through Everest. Like, I mean, you'd be fine. It's much better that way. It's much better without the Islamic scholar preaching over it, right?
Yes, I agree.
But yeah, let's call it.
So thank you everyone for watching the show. If you're not subscribed, we could use some more subs. Just saying. I'm gonna be that guy begging for subs.
That's okay.
I'd like to see us get over 100. I think we can do it.
Someone has to do it, Reese.
Someone be that lucky 100 subscriber, and you'll win a prize. Just kidding.
Yeah, there are no prizes.
You don't get shit. But no, thanks for everyone for watching, and let us know what you think. And thank you to Hagbar for running the show despite some difficulties.
Yeah, we're working on it.
Yeah, we'll have things more sorted out next week.
Sure, that's the story, and we are sticking to it.
That's the story. All right. Thank you everyone for joining us, and good afternoon.
Farewell.